EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Denver Broncos. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
And off we go from Denver. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Hoosier, their rookie quarterback from Indiana.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
They'll run for the first time with Ashton Jeanty. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll go again with Jeanty. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Short throw caught by Bowers. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
10 yards. And the Las Vegas first down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
They'll look to throw here on first down. That would complete to Trey Tucker. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 25 yards that time.
First down.
Well, certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a first down. Give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I bet we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
Now, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Here's 2nd and 10. Open man is Naylor. He's got it. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. And a good sign for them right now to have their young quarterback looking confident on the opening drive.
Now, we haven't met a young quarterback, a veteran quarterback. It doesn't matter. We haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't tell us he's confident about his abilities, right?
That's true.
But when you're young, it's really important to get off to a good start because it does build up that confidence and allows him to play better as the game goes on.
Especially crucial here on the road. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one.
We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Genty will cross the line. He's in. Touchdown, Raiders.
Well, just about an ideal start to this one offensively, because on the road, you want to make sure you quiet the home crowd early. And how do they do it? Nice march to start things off. Let the run game find its footing early. That drive certainly checked a lot of boxes, and they finished it off with a touchdown run.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. And that makes it 7-zip Vegas.
So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. The sack recorded, it's a loss of 5, and now it's second down.
And they get to him right out of the gate, and this defense hoping that that's a harbinger of things to come.
Yeah, when you give up a first-play sack, makes your quarterback wonder if he's going to go to the sidelines and talk with his offense coordinator and head coach and say, hey, you know that game plan we put together? We might need to change it right now.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Nix to the air.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix. He'll air this one out for Mims.
And he backs it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, how about the challenge we're seeing here in this game early? Man coverage against some fleet receivers. That time, the defense won.
On 4th down, Jeremy Crawshaw on to punt for Denver.
Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The drive will begin with a run by Genty.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And a Raider first down. A gain of 11 on
He's settling in nicely here in the first quarter running the football. Remember, he already has the touchdown run.
And you can feel the vibe, can't you? He's in unison with his offensive front. They are in concert together. So if you're flipping over to the other side of the line of scrimmage, they've got to be more physical and handle some of these gaps that have been created.
But Nick Bonito not letting him escape there. He was in instant pursuit off the snap and dropped him behind the line.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and making sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
A give out of the gun to Genty. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield.
The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
On first down, it's Genty.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage.
Alex Singleton, the linebacker, there on the tackle.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 39. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10. Off the play fake. Mendoza.
Short throw there caught by Thomas.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that'll bring up a second down in just a couple.
Brings up second and 2 at the Broncos 31-yard line.
They'll send a receiver in motion left.
They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
A little bit of finger pointing and heavy discussion going on in the defensive backfield. It's man coverage, but they leave a guy wide open. They've got to be counting their lucky stars that this ball was overthrown.
On for the field goal. A 49-yard attempt.
Gay's kick is good.
So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it first and 10.
On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, And then the big finish with the tackle.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Another run here with Dobbins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
Broncos, first down.
Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Oh, and this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10.
To throw, here's Nix. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 39. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Off the play fake, here's Nix. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A big play there on the catch and run. 34 yards.
Seems like all the fireworks in this first quarter have been on the other sideline, but here they're saying, hey, we've got some explosive guys on our side too. And that's a big play in a game that's looking like it might be full of big plays.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Here's Nix.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Broncos have cut it back within a score. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now.
Makes the score, Raiders 10.
So that one an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
For the Broncos.
And able to get this out to the 25. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Looking to throw. Mendoza. Here's Tucker, complete on the right side.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
(10-7) our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Las Vegas with the football, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver.
This is brought in at the 21.
Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards.
And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10.
Denver's offense now set to go. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
It may be only a gain of 3 yards, but that back, he deserves a lot more credit on the play. That could have easily been stopped at the line, but his vision and his determination found some space to turn it into that modest gain.
Throwing Nix.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a 1st down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
And incomplete on the deep ball. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Got a man open. It's Sutton. And he will have the Broncos' 1st down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
From the 29, here's second down at 7. Now the Central Florida product, it's R.J. Harvey. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
So from inside the 20, here's first and 10 at the 18. Off the play fake, Nix. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll bring up second down.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Second and 5. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos have taken the lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of the season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
The Lutz will look to add the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Raiders offense ready to go. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Looking to put a drive together. To throw is Mendoza. Throwing to start the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
That's good for a Las Vegas first down. First and 10 at the 49-yard
Certainly no
line.
settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So a first and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line.
Now a handoff to Genty.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
At the 49-yard line.
Back to throw. Mendoza.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself.
He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
And here's Mendoza from the gun on third down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line.
J.K. Dobbins leading the way as the offense returns to the field.
He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins.
And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Working out of the gun is Nix. A short throw to Ingram.
And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Franklin. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
It's a gain of 7. Makes it 3rd and 4.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Nix. He'll air this one out for Mims.
It's caught inside the 25.
A huge play there for Denver. 51 yards.
And the Broncos first down. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
I'll tell you what, this is not going to be a fun discussion at halftime for this defense. They've been absolutely taken advantage of in the first half. And here's another play for big, big yardage.
They'll get that complete to Franklin.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 4.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Nix looking to throw again.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
On that snap, he's the hero of his defense after the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his hit kept it exactly that.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. This will be a 34-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good.
And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10.
So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together.
On the zone read, a give to Genty.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Great effort by Alex Singleton as he finishes that play off.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
Mendoza off the play fake.
That's into the hands of his tight end Bowers.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Mendoza. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that is incomplete.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Oh, nice move.
1:55 left to go in the first half of play.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Took just 1 play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down.
To throw is Nix.
A short throw to Ingram. And they regroup defensively after the broken tackle, getting to him just beyond the 45. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
At the 46-yard line.
Back to throw. Nix.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
On 4th down, Jeremy Crawshaw on to punt.
Now it's Lockett.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10.
The Raider offense going to head out now late in this first half. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
2nd and 12 at the 23-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Off play action. Mendoza. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
That one complete to Naylor.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
A gain of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Here is 3rd down and 4.
Operating from the gun, Mendoza.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench, not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
Here's A.J. Cole now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half.
So halftime straight ahead. It is time to join our good friend Scott Hansen. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the 3rd quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thanks a bunch. And we'll see which team's adjustments are going to pay dividends here, as we are just about ready for the start of the second half. One touchdown is the difference. 17-10 our score, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And the Broncos offense set to begin this third quarter. Looking to put a drive together. He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. And a nice spin into some open field. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A huge play there for Denver. 41 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
He had been held in check. Now he breaks that big run. Shows the explosiveness we all knew was there.
All right, tell the truth now. You knew it was just a matter of time, didn't you? We've seen this so many times from him. Hold him down, and then breaks out.
Right back to Dobbins on first. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
2nd down, 8 to go from the 28. Off the bootleg, here's Nix. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 16. 12 yards there as they move the chains. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. J.K. Dobbins with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Bloods to try to add the PAT. And the lead is up to 14. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield. but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Mendoza now from the gun on third down. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively, and you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on for the 5th time here today. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And they will take over 1st and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Nix from the shotgun. And that'll be complete to Dobbins. Maybe a gain of 5. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 3.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
They had enough yards for the 1st down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No 1st down.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Pressure comes as he gets this one away.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
This is one of the dangers of going for the punt block.
And you know before you even call going for the block, it's a risk-reward play. So many factors come into it. They went after it, and you know punters, what they do? They leave their leg up in the air an extra count or two, hoping someone comes into contact.
Here's Nix once more. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage, as shown by that last play.
Dobbins running out of the gun. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Nix to the air. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball but someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. He made his first, this from 47 yards out.
The kick by Lutz is good. And that will extend their lead even further. And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Raiders now set to get the football back. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Now Mendoza throwing to start the drive. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Mendoza to the right side and complete to Thomas. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Makes it 3rd and 8.
Looking to throw. Mendoza. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
And you start to think, if it's going to happen for these guys, it's got to start with this drive. Down 3 scores, they need to start making some inroads. And that'll help the cause there as they pick up good yardage and a 1st down.
They go play action here on 1st down. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll look to throw again. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
He lets it fly for Lockett. And, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
Boy, that ball's just hanging up there waiting to be intercepted. That looked doomed from the start, but they took the deep shot anyway, and fortunately, it winds up incomplete.
Here's A.J. Cole now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos offense and Bo Nix getting set for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Now Dobbins again on second down.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here comes Dobbins on the toss right.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like what they've done.
And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
Here's 3rd and 6. To throw, here's Nix. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
Looking to put a drive together.
To throw is Mendoza.
Throwing to start the drive. So 8 yards on the completion there. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving.
Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Mendoza.
That's over the middle. He finds Naylor.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Mendoza.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders' first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
First and 10 at the 37.
They brought in the heavy set on third down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
A run straight ahead with Genti.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 2. Once again, it's Genti.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage.
He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
He's got his target. That's complete.
He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Mendoza. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit.
Another Raiders first down.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But they trim that lead down to just 2 scores. That's still a benefit to this squad.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Tucker. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Makes it 3rd and 8.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Oh, the motion comes too late. And this is going to be a delay.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Back to throw again.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
And Gay knocks this one through. And that will close the gap down to 14. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Broncos offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
At the 26-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll go again with Dobbins. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Throwing Nix. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The Raiders heading out to take over. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Mendoza. He'll drop this underneath for Genty. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. It was a solid check down there with pressure coming, wasn't it?
It was, because you're trying to go through your progression, and when you have that type of pressure in your face, it changes what you're doing and how fast you have to do your reads, and able to come back and find him in open space. That's a really nice play.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only gets a yard, but it's enough to set him up 1st and goal. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Trey Tucker, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Raiders have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set, and racing going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. Gay is on for the point after. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown.
Makes the score. Broncos
Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Raiders pick it up. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
When you kick off and you go downfield and get the ball back, that's what I call a great opportunity. In a one-score game, I always circle, and you know this, but in my play-by-play sheet, I circle big plays. It could be turning points. This could be a turning point. Did you put a second circle around this one? This is pretty big. I put a star.
And here's Mendoza throwing to start the drive. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Nick Benito coming in there to record the sack.
What a quick start to the drive, but not for the team that really needed it. In only a few seconds, the opposing QB found himself on the turf, and the defense is celebrating second and long.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Looking to throw. Mendoza. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Mendoza from the gun on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
Gay on for the field goal. A 35-yard attempt.
Gay's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within 4.
So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Nix. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. That's a gain of 4 here in the 4th quarter with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth-quarter lead. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. They'll start on the ground with Genty.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
They'll go again with Genty.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 1 yard and now no yards. Have him looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Defense able to get there, swarm to the football. Zilch, 0 nada there for the offense, Charles.
Yeah, it really was an example of good team defense, wasn't it? Everyone handled their responsibilities, and they held them to no gain.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 52 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there at 22.
A gain of 22 more yards. That's another.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
His pass caught at the 4. And the Raiders are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
White, not going anywhere. He'll lose a couple back to the 6. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
2nd and 6. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Trey Tucker with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Raiders have taken a 4th-quarter lead. Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that gives him a 3-point lead.
Broncos 27.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The home team's offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he's been the focal point of this offense. And when you get a performance like this, you can almost invariably add that the offensive line play has also been stellar. And that's definitely been the case here. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Nix. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Intended for Cortland Sutton. Incomplete. Isaiah Polamau on the coverage.
Here's 2nd down. To throw is Nix. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. What can they draw up now? Time to find out on a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
Got to avoid the flags defensively. Here's 4th and long. They'll go for it. Here's Nix. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
He'll look to throw. Dobbins with it. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll look to throw. Nick's going to keep this himself. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 36. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Here's 1st down. He's back to throw. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
They'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Oh, I know it goes against the grain here. It totally goes against it, but you've got to drop the ball in that situation. He makes a catch, but he loses yards and doesn't get out of bounds.
A big play needed, no doubt. 3rd and long. Back to throw. And That's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down.
Sets up fourth down.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
So a big one coming now for Will Lutz. This to potentially send us to overtime. And he missed it. It's no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
We so often think of these kickers as automatic at any distance, and it's just not the case because when you start talking about 50-plus yards, it's still a tough one to connect on. This one ends up no good, and that should put to rest any chance of this game getting to overtime.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.